Hi, I'm Brad, and that Mack truck crushing me, his name is Enrique. Now, he's a professional MMA fighter, and you're probably thinking, what's this white boy doing sparring Goliath? Well, I'm on a journey, for myself and the people I love, to encourage and inspire that life is worth a second chance, even when you're getting destroyed.
You quit?
Yeah, this was the moment I knew I had to go on a journey and figure out what it means to have a fighting spirit. This is my cousin, Trista Reynolds. You might know this story. It was national news in 2011. She will always live with a terrible guilt and deep emptiness from going to rehab and losing custody of her daughter, Ayla. And because of that, the moment she entrusted someone to care for her child, that was also the very night that she lost her.
Well, Kelly's court is back in session, and on the docket today, a disturbing new revelation in the disappearance of a little Maine toddler. Ayla Reynolds was just 20 months old when she vanished from her father's home on December 17th, just before Christmas. Now investigators saying for the first time they do not believe she is still alive. They are going to revoke the $30,000 reward that's been offered for her, and they believe her father, Justin DiPietro, knows more than he is letting on. And they are not alone in that belief.
This is beautiful Ayla. She would have been 13 today. As complicated as this unsolved case is, the human spirit will always starve for justice. But what do you have when everything that matters is gone? And how do you move forward with life? How do you keep fighting? Or when do you quit? My cousin opened my eyes to seek for answers. Who am I, you ask? Well, I'm Brad. I'm a Boston firefighter. I'm a United States Marine, a mental health practitioner. These are my brothers in Iraq. We know a thing or two about PTSD. And these are my brothers at the firehouse. COVID brought anxiety, hopelessness, and fear. We often forget we're just humans. Sometimes I want to wrestle God and demand his help. I'll bless him, like Jacob did. But then I listen to my anxious breaths and I realize I've just been fighting myself this entire time. As a mental health practitioner, I needed to discover what it takes to stand my ground and overcome life's hardest challenges. And it just so happened that as I was running away, God was leading me right where I needed to be. Puerto Rico. I just couldn't shake what Enrique had asked me. You quit? Maybe that's what I was doing. I mean, I was escaping after all, but no, not yet. Now, Puerto Rico is known to develop a few of the world's greatest boxers. Real legends like Felix Trinidad, Wilfredo Gomez, Wilfred Benitez.
Benitez lands that overhand right from an isolated camera.
Now, who could forget Miguel Cotto and Margarito, the scandal that shook the boxing world?
He's exhausted, and it's almost over. The The punishment has accumulated to the point where Cotto has nothing left.
Illegal hand wraps inside Margarito's gloves. Cotto was a broken man, but he came back. This fighter didn't quit. I need to find out how he did it, why he did it, and what it takes to fight back.
Que yo he cargado mi derrota como un hombre. No te preocupes, por eso, así lo tienes que sostener. Yo te gané bien, mira, yo te gané bien.
¿Eso no está roto ahí?
¿Cuál roto? Esa es una foto. Mira los vendajes se los llevaron, los vendajes los tienen. Eso no tenía el vendaje. Entonces, mira los vendajes en vivo.
¿Qué vendaje que te quitaron? De
Por eso.
Tenía el mismo rojo ahí.
Sí, bueno, estás hablando de los rojos o de los
Good left by Cotto.
He's only landed just the punches the other round in first time.
Margarito still stalking. Cotto stands his ground. Body shots and a left hook upstairs for Cotto.
Punches as compared to what they are.
Another ripped left hook for Cotto. Margarito's punches just don't have the same sledgehammer impact.
Doctor, you stopping it?
It's over. It's over. And
He endured the pain, the humiliation, and the suffering, but never quit. He came back stronger, his spirit unbroken. I need to find a place that understands this, that preaches it, and lives it.
Miguel, you got your revenge. How does it feel?
Good, I made my work. I won the fight. And thanks to all the crowd here. Thanks a lot. I love you.
After the fight was stopped, you went to Margarito's corner and stared at him for what seemed like quite a while. Why?
Just to look at him, and taste my victory.
Cuando me pasó lo de las piernas, que vi que no podía hacer, todavía tengo problemas con las piernas, anyway, pero yo dije, el mundo se acabó, ya no voy a ser boxeador, yo quería ser campeón, no lo voy a poder lograr ya. Lloré, pero Dios tiene un propósito en todo.
Emilio Lozada lost his dream, but not his identity. I'm at the right place.
Es un comienzo largo, porque yo era peleador y me lesioné y dejé de pelear. Posiblemente si yo hubiera seguido peleando, no hubiera comenzado este proyecto yo tan joven, o no lo hubiera comenzado nunca. Dios tenía un propósito y el propósito de Dios era este y se está cumpliendo. Me convertí en árbitro y yo vivía en la comunidad del frente, en el caserío. Entonces veía a los nenes que no tenían mucho que hacer. Y empecé en un canastito, en una carpa, con unos sacos de boxeo y se llenó. El cantito que tenía era al aire libre, se mojaba y todo. Entonces seguí entrenando a los nenes y esto que es el gimnasio hoy día estaba abandonado. Llevaba 10 años abandonado y era un sitio de adictos a drogas. Lo utilizaban los adictos a drogas. Y yo pues me metí. Dije, yo voy a tomar eso para utilizarlo como gimnasio boxeo y simplemente hablé con la comunidad, quedamos en mudarnos un sábado y estuvimos todos aquí sábado y domingo limpiando y ya lunes estaba el gimnasio literalmente mudado con su saco, con su equipo para comenzar. No había agua, no había un sinnúmero de facilidades que hoy tenemos. Pero entonces teníamos miedo que nos sacaran, que nos botaran, porque esto es un edificio del gobierno, pero el alcalde, Ramón Luis Rivera, se portó muy bien con nosotros, creyó en el proyecto y hasta el sol de hoy el proyecto ya va para 15 años. Entonces, pues, después de 15 años, esto ha sido un proceso poco a poco desarrollándolo. Todavía sigo teniendo sueños grandes con esto, que siga mejorando. Y ya es un gimnasio establecido a nivel de Puerto Rico y a nivel mundial. Viene mucha gente reconocida del boxeo y la comunidad siente gran aprecio por este cantito. Sienten que esto los representa, sienten que esto es de ellos, lo protegen y ahora mismo yo digo, vamos a hacer lo que haya que hacer para ayudar en el proyecto y todo el mundo se enrolla las mangas, el gobierno, la comunidad y todo el mundo coopera con el fin de que esto siga siendo un lugar adecuado para que los muchachos se sigan desarrollando.
Emilio Lozada suffered a leg accident that ended his pursuit for a professional boxing career. He said that it was after long bouts of tears and depression that he humbled himself and prayed for direction. So he started this gym and has been an instrument to help change and mold the identity of hundreds of athletes who would have otherwise ended up on the streets, in prison, or dead. Is that tenacity to overcome just an athlete's mindset? Is it something in the culture? Can that be in anyone? Is it in me?
Aquí se ha hecho de todo, en ayuda a los muchachos. Por ejemplo, yo tengo un muchacho que se llama Brian Chevalier.
Here we go. It's time to fight. Silver, white, and black for Chevalier. Little slip and Juarez has Chevalier up against the ropes. Look at the finish it right here.
He's about to punch himself out. See that?
Wow.
He got himself in a position now that he may get knocked out if he's not careful.
Big round for Cesar Juarez.
Brian, cógeme aire fuerte. No me salgas atrás ahora. Cuando él caiga cerca, no te metas. Bloquea y lo sacas con el cuerpo, Brian. ¿Está bien?
Not just in search of the victory. He wants to finish a very tough out in Cesar Juarez.
It'll do it for you right there. That body shot will do it for you right there. Oh, the guy that's supposed to be the seventh, there he is.
It's all over. Brian Chevalier.
Y otro muchacho que se llama Cheito Román. Y ellos son de otro residencial.
This one was legit. Great uppercut and then the left hook. That's boxing.
En el caso de Chevalier, su papá caía arrestado por tráfico de drogas y el de Cheito. Y se quedaron sin papá. Y eran muchachos que eran propensos a caer en las calles. Y entraron al programa. Y hoy día llevan 14, 15 años. Tengo un caso bien cómico. Porque yo tenía un muchacho que llegaba aquí todos los días arrebatado. Todos los días arrebatado. Y yo me lo relajaba. Pero dentro del relajo siempre le daba su disciplina. Hoy día estudia quiropráctico y hace poco cumplía yo años y me escribió un mensaje, lo agradecido que estaba, pero lo más que me impactó fue que me escribió: me salvaste la vida. Muchas veces estos muchachos no escuchan a los papás, pero sí escuchan a una persona de afuera. Y en mi caso he representado dentro de la comunidad una persona que hace las cosas bien, de respeto, y pues los muchachos, gracias a Dios, me escuchan y por lo general pues entienden el mensaje y logran hacer, ¿verdad?, sus cosas bien. Hermano mío, lamento mucho tu pérdida. Son procesos en la vida que a veces ni los entendemos, pero lo mejor que hizo Dios fue un día tras otro, y Él nos promete que siempre va a estar con nosotros. Mañana va a salir el sol nuevamente y tú vas a salir con ese sol a brillar y a luchar por tu sueño para que ese familiar que tú perdiste en esta situación te pueda ver triunfar desde el otro lado del mundo. Lo lamento. Vamos para encima.
Miguel Cotto had passed through this gym. His heartbreak and his success. You can feel it in this space. You know what it taught me? There's always something on the other side of our trials. Because there's life there. We'll always get another shot at it. Even if it doesn't come the way we expected it or wanted it. But we'll give another shot at life. That was a lot to digest. I decided to take a walk through Old San Juan to get some fresh air. And then, off in the distance, I could hear the sound of a war cry. The closer I got, the more I felt it calling me. The sounds that were calling me, it's called bomba. The first native music of Puerto Rico. It was created in the sugar plantations by slaves over 400 years ago. The differing and multi-language enslaved tribes would communicate with one another by way of dance. And it was through dance that they would initiate rebellions. This was their way to express and release their feelings, their soul. Okay. I'm in the right place. Kopi was so compelling that my whole crew got involved.
Ellos se reunían en ese batey escondidas cerca de la playa y ahí entonces ellos ejecutaban sus bailes de bomba para desahogarse y para cargarse de energía para volver a trabajar y decirle a los demás, yo soy Narcisa, la bomba es puertorriqueña y le vamos a pedir a esos antepasados, tanto los tuyos como los míos, que nos permitan sacar ese sentimiento y desplegarlo en este batey para bailar la bomba loiseña.
The music of bomba is a communication between the dancers and the drummers. So how we do that, how I celebrate myself, that is very important. So that is something that you fight against the racism because of your, your statement, your powerful statement. Well, COPI is a non-for-profit organization. COPI is a base community organization. So in Piñones, we have been going through a lot of struggle against the government trying to displace the community for years and the developers. So COPI started in 1999, working to get together the community. Okay. So we defend the forest that we have, the mangrove forest. Piñones has the biggest mangrove forest in Puerto Rico. Okay. So that all the green that we have on the floor, that is for us represent the mangrove. So the community is like living inside that. We are surrounded by that mangrove forest. So we have to create more knowledge and conciencia. So I don't know how to say that in English. Conscious to the community that they very important to preserve our natural resources, but also with the issue of the racism in Puerto Rico, because here is a lot of racism, but it's like behind, so those are the two elements that we work here in the community in Piñones, in COPI. So it's the African heritage of our culture, Puerto Rican culture, that is denied, and in the school they don't show, teach, and everything, or just say that we were a slave, but we don't. They don't talk about all the contribution that we have been made.
Ay, domingo por la mañana, cachombo para Guayanilla, para el cárcel de tu familia, te iba a buscar la contra para resguardarte.
So COPI is working with those contributions. That's why you will see in that way, the bomba became like a stone, like something important that we show to the community, not just Piñones community, so everybody that comes here. Yeah. So when we start with kids, with girls from the community dancing bomba, teaching them, so a lot of visitors came through those windows and doors. Say, I want my kids, my daughter to learn bomba.
Y entonces tú sientes si quieres bailarlo, si quieres tocarlo o quieres cantarlo. Vámonos de allá, César, contigo nomás. O solamente lo que quieres es ver.
We fight against racism because there is come black people, but they come white or they come people from Puerto Rico and from outside Puerto Rico. So that is very important and very interesting how you see kids, black girls, dancing their music and teaching others or sharing with others that come to, you know, to know the music and the culture.
What did you learn today?
I don't really know. I mean, what am I supposed to do with this? How does this build resilience? How does this make people stronger?
Well, the manifestation of bomba and the experience of dancing and singing bomba helps you conquer and express yourself and build resilience. But I think it goes way further than that. It helps you to get, and it wants you to get justice. It just helps you with it.
I had no idea what to expect when I arrived at Kopi. But what I learned about dancing as an art for strength and a cry for justice reminded me of the biblical King David, a man who would dance and sing away the afflictions of this present age. He rejoiced because, despite the enemies that surrounded him, taunting him, fighting him, conspiring for his life, his identity in God remained unshaken. Thinking this through, I realized that there's one thing that Mary Cruz and Emilio had in common. They're both in the constant practice of serving others. And it's in that spirit of service that the final piece of the puzzle fell into place for me. The desire to serve others, to build character and integrity, forms the cornerstone of their unwavering determination.
The first pictures now coming in from Puerto Rico after taking a direct hit. Hurricane Maria slamming into the island, and as you heard, one official saying the island is destroyed. 150-mile-an-hour winds ripping buildings apart, knocking out power everywhere. All of the electricity is out tonight. People ordered to stay inside until at least tomorrow, amid fears of more massive flooding to come. The official death toll had been 64. Tonight, that death toll now 2,975 lives lost.
Real quick.
And this was Maria, Category 4 beast that left Puerto Rico battered and bruised. It's been a rocky road since then, but let me tell you, these folks, they don't back down. Power is flickering back for most, but there are still pockets of darkness, like stubborn little stars refusing to shine. Maria did more than just batter buildings. It shook souls, left wounds that time can't erase. Kids should be laughing, not carrying the weight of post-traumatic stress, compounded from generation to generation and tragedy to tragedy. But how do we break the cycle? Walking through this hurricane-battered town, it's like nature threw a wild tantrum, leaving behind a shattered puzzle of cinder blocks and memories. But right here, amidst this mess, I see something magical. Mi Patria, written on their shirts. These folks are like the heartbeats of hope. Tired, but proudly piecing together a new journey.
So here at Mi Patria, we're rebuilding the home for Mr. Mercado. He's a 92-year-old Korean War veteran.
El Señor Jesucristo nos ilumina a nosotros. ¿Qué debemos hacer?
Entonces, ¿usted cree que su fe ha ayudado también?
También, eso es cierto.
And we finished putting in the cement last Friday. So according to the contratistas, the contractors, they said that we have to wait about 2 weeks. And this Friday will make 2 weeks. Next Monday we'll start the other aspect of the rebuilding process. And that means the stuccoing, the empañetando, then putting down the tiles, and more importantly, being able to get the solar panels and the rainwater catchment system so we can include that in the their electrical system and their plumbing system. This is going to be the first example of many, and we just want to be able to do one home right really well, to continue duplicating the process and understanding how much materials it takes, The other aspect of Mi Patria is disaster relief. Part of why this project has taken a little longer is because Hurricane Fiona hit in mid-September, and we had to redirect our energies and our focus to provide direct aid to families that were in desperate need. And thankfully, this family wasn't here and they weren't in their old home because it might have not even survived the storm.
Now, let me tell you about Mi Patria. These guys aren't just swinging hammers, they're making a difference. Veterans who have seen the dark side of duty, now fighting a new battle with nails and saws. It's like they found their true calling, turning scars into strength.
I always feel like whatever talents you have should be used to better the world and to give back and just to continue to serve. You know, as veterans, we want to serve. That's why we joined the military, right? So I want to continue to serve in a different way, and this is where it is.
The other component of Mi Patria is through mental health and veterans. I'm a military veteran, Carmen's a military veteran, and we just want to be able to continue to give back to the veteran community through volunteerism. And we understand the mental health benefits that come through volunteerism, and it's helped me identify a significant purpose in my being and how it is that I'm of service to my community, my country, and it's just something that I find that's important, and I want to be able to help other veterans do the same thing and identify that purpose within.
Listening to these folks talk about having a Christ-like spirit, that whole love thy neighbor thing, they're not just fixing homes, they're stitching the community's heart back together. It's like their faith and their hammers are in sync, creating a symphony of service.
La fe en Jesucristo y el camino que debemos seguir, hasta que Dios quiera. El Señor, Él es el que dispone de nuestra vida, eso es todo.
Maria's scars still linger. We're talking blue tarp rooftops and crumbling dreams. But in those cracks, something beautiful is sprouting. A resurgence powered by communities who refuse to stay down. You can't keep a good island down, right?
When we first started this documentary, I thought that the spirit of resiliency was something to do with the Puerto Rican culture. It was maybe a way of life, maybe it was a saying, maybe it was something that was passed down from generations. What I found was passed down from generations, unfortunately, was a need to be resilient. And unfortunately, that came from suffering and instability. So people who are used to having anything and everything taken away from them at a moment's notice via hurricane, earthquake, natural disaster, government corruption, whatever, they're forced to be resilient. And I went into this really revering the resiliency and thinking that, the pride of Puerto Rico and Puerto Rican people was that resiliency, until I realized that, we spoke to Marty Cruz and she said, I hate the word resilient. The reason why I hate the word resiliency is that it's time to stop praising Puerto Rican resiliency and start working towards Puerto Rican justice, change. How do I bring this message home in terms of, teaching people to be better at suffering? Why can't I inspire other people to be more like Raymond and Carmen and helping them rebuild houses, helping them, people like Vanessa, and helping to clean up beaches instead of sitting around and saying, oh, we're used to trash, we're used to this being destroyed or that, the other thing. Why can't we go back into our communities like Monte Cruz driving around Louisa and delivering diapers in a storm to people that can't get out of the house because of floods? I think that's the message that we need to end with, and not necessarily, hey, let's get better at not having diapers. About, hey, let's get better at helping our neighbors. Let's get better at being there in our communities. Let's get better at thinking about somebody else besides ourselves.
As I prepare myself to head home, I realize something profound. Resilience isn't just bouncing back. It's about lifting each other up. But how do I convey this? How do I convey the resilience, the faith, the heart of Puerto Rico to a nation divided by its own trials? How do I speak to Trista, who's felt the depth of loss that I can't even fathom? Maybe it's not about finding the perfect words. Maybe it's about carrying the moments, the sweat-soaked work sites, the the unwavering faith, the united communities, within my heart, to let them guide me, shape me, as I step into a conversation that needs to happen.
A recent study analyzed more than 350,000 comments on the Nextdoor app in 50 of America's biggest cities to find out what people are complaining about the most. North Star Inbound's Matt Zajahowski.
For Boston, we saw the most popular topic that people are discussing within their community locally. Dogs were number one for where neighbors complain about dog waste and poop.
Boston ranked number 9 for cities where neighbors complain most about parking. No surprise there. Sherry Small.